Oh, hey, I'm Sam and I live here in the Appalachian Mountains of Eastern Kentucky. I do a lot of videos on Appalachian life, language, culture, and things like that. Today, what I want to do is show you the progress of a wild pumpkin plant that just randomly showed up in our yard a few weeks ago. If you follow some of my videos, you might have already seen where I told the story about how this pumpkin plant just showed up out of nowhere in the middle of my yard. And I do YouTube shorts and TikToks. And I did a video on both of those asking what I should do with that. Should I go ahead and mow it down since it's right in the middle of the yard, or should I let it grow and just to see what happens? And everyone was like, you should just let it grow. That's exactly what I did. As I was walking and talking just now, I noticed that I had started walking on some of these black walnuts that had fallen from the ground. Let me pick one up right here and show you all. This is a black walnut. This one tastes a little bit different than the English walnuts that you can buy in the store. I like these a little bit better. My wife likes the English walnuts better. Now, the thing about these, they're everywhere here right now, which is great. I have several trees on my property, and pretty much the trouble with these is inside this shell, they're a black sticky goo. And if you get that on you, you will be stained for a little while. Like, I'm kind of nervous holding it now because this is soft. If it breaks open, I'll get it on my thumb and my finger. So something I could do, if anyone would be interested, I could actually show a quick video on how to hull these out and then crack some open just to show you what it looks like. So let me know in the comments if you would like to see that as well. Sorry about that. I digress. If you've watched my other video where I kind of introduce myself, you'll find out that I do that quite often. And if you've not already, after this video's over, go and check that one out too. I just try to do a quick introduction video about who I am and a little bit about me and a little bit about my past, so you guys would know a little more about me. So I thought it was good to do that. See, I'm rambling on again, so go check it out. But let's go now. I'm going to show you this pumpkin plant, and what's happening right now is it is in, I guess, at the end of its cycle. As I'm filming this, it's October 9th. So this plant is winding down, but it did produce 4 or 5 pumpkins. And it's not the big jack-o'-lantern pumpkins that you would carve for Halloween. It's just the pumpkins that you can sit out and decorate, or I guess use for a pie. But let me show you now, and you'll see what I mean, because it's looking pretty rough. All right, here's the pumpkin plant. And I promise I did not plant this. It just showed up randomly in my yard one day. And I decided after posting the video about it that we would just let it grow. And it took over a lot of my yard, as you can see. But here's one of the last pumpkins on it. It's not real big. Here's my hand, so it's a really small pumpkin. And then over here, it looks like we do have 2 more little pumpkins that are trying to take shapes. Look, that's a smaller one here. But if you look, the plant does not look healthy at all. It's dying in a lot of spots. So the other bad news is I think they're potentially giving frost for next week. If that happens, of course, it's done for. I'm just hoping that this one will grow a little bit more before we get our first frost. And I really don't have much hope on these 2 little ones, that one and this one. I just don't think they have enough time to grow and mature. But let me know what you think. I hope everyone enjoyed following along with me as we watched that plant grow, and now it's coming to an end. Go back and look at my shorts from this channel, or go over to TikTok and look at my TikTok videos if you want to see more of a timeline. And maybe that's something I can put together, just piece all those clips together so we can show just a timeline of how it progresses and how we found my first pumpkin and now was probably the last pumpkin on it. It's pretty cool how that just showed up randomly. I honestly don't know how it got there. I mean, my daughter last year did have some jack-o'-lantern pumpkins out for Halloween, and she did get a new puppy, and that puppy may have gotten into that jack-o'-lantern. If that's the case, that's probably where it came from. But I'm not for sure because these aren't jack-o'-lantern pumpkins. Like I said, those are just the like normal pumpkin pie pumpkins. But I don't know. I don't grow pumpkins. I would assume that you'd have to have a different type of seed, and I would assume that the jack-o'-lantern seeds wouldn't produce those types of pumpkins, but maybe I'm wrong. You also, someone who knows more than me about that could let me know down in the comments. So the last thing I'll talk about today before I let you all go is I want to give you an Appalachian word and phrase that we say that a lot of people who are not from around here may not quite understand. I've done this one on my YouTube shorts before and on TikTok a couple of times, but I actually think I'm going to do a video on TikTok about it today as well. And that word is gom. Gom just means a mess. An example to try to use it in a sentence could be if you go into one of your kids' rooms and it's really messy, you might say, "Hey kids, this room is a gom. You need to clean it up." Or I've used it this way before. Imagine that you were in like heavy traffic and that's really aggravating. It's a mess, right? And a lot of times I would often say something like, "I'll be a little bit late because I'm in a gom here in traffic." And I've also heard people say this too. They would say, "Quit gomming and a messing," which it means the same thing. I don't know. It's just kind of fun to say too. So you'll have to let me know down in the comments. Have you ever used the word gom? Have you ever heard it before? And do you use it in the same context as me, replacing a mess for gom? I know I've said this a couple times in my YouTube shorts and on my other videos, but it's super interesting how regions can have different words and different meanings for each word. And then in Appalachia, what you'll often find out is that even though I'm from Appalachia and someone from Western North Carolina, for example, is also from Appalachia, we may still have slightly different dialect, accents, and we might use different words slightly different as well. So let me know where you're from and let me know, do you say gom for mess? And maybe give me an example, like use it in a sentence. That way we can see if we use it the same way or not. Okay, I'm starting to ramble again, which means I need to probably go ahead and end this video. Do me a favor and do all the YouTubey stuff. Like my video, share it, leave me a comment down below. I know that all the creators say that, everyone on YouTube says it. It really does help. And I think the reason it helps is it lets YouTube know that you're interested in it. So then they'll let other people who they think are interested in the same thing see my video too. So that really does help if you do that for me. And after this video, go watch the Who is Appalachian Sam video. I hope you find it interesting. That way you'll find out just a little bit more about me. And on that video, you'll find I ended it by talking about, I don't really have a catchphrase to end my videos. A lot of YouTubers will have something they say to end every single video. I don't have one yet. I mentioned how celebrating Appalachia, she always ends her videos with, "Thanks for helping us celebrate Appalachia." I don't have something like that. And I think until I find one, I'm going to do the same thing on this video as I did my last one. I think I'm just going to do this.